In this video lesson, I'm going to show you guys how to do the origin of words activity, which is an etymology activity that will help you better understand the vocabulary that we're studying. And so the basic instructions on this is that I will give you a set of 3 of our vocab words, and then you will use the online etymology dictionary, link provided right here, to investigate the words and just share with us what you found. And so I will use one of our vocab words, identity, to give you an example of how to do this. So here I have the online etymology dictionary, etymonline.com, and I'm first just going to search for the word identity. And then, so the first thing you'll notice is I've got my entry here for identity, and so this tells me what I need to know. So the first thing I'm looking for is the origin and the original meaning. Etymology is all about, researching the history of words and how they've come from older ancient languages into our current language. So we want to know, like, what language did it come from, what was the word in that ancient language, and what meaning did that word have. And so if I read here, it tells me for identity, okay, circa 1600, sameness, oneness, state of being the same. That kind of gets to the more modern meaning of the word. But if I keep going, and I'm especially looking for from. So for identity, I can see from Middle French, identité, from medieval Latin, okay, so identitatum, meaning sameness, ultimately from Latin, okay, idem, meaning the same. So for some words, you'll only have like one from, and it'll just tell you directly which ancient language it came from. In this case, they're tracking it through 3 different languages. But since it says ultimately from, that's the one I'm going to go for. I want the oldest version of this word that I can find. And so I can see Latin. So I'll put Latin, and then the word was idem, idem, idem. I don't know how to pronounce Latin very well. I'll put the word in italics there just to make it clear that's the word. And then the meaning we have here is the same, and you'll notice that in an etymology dictionary, the meaning is often put into quotation marks. So I'll just do that as well. So now it tells me which ancient language it came from, which was Latin. It tells me what the word was in Latin, idem, and it tells me the meaning, which was the same. And so now I want the current meaning, and you could use the kind of meaning that they have here. This would be fine. On the other hand, I think it might even be more helpful to use the vocabulary analysis chart. We've already looked up a current definition for this word and the definition that we are using. So I'm just going to copy from our vocab analysis chart and put it right in there. And so it tells me the current meaning. And so finally, related words and phrases. So if you kind of do some looking around in this etymology dictionary, you'll find related phrases, related words. And sometimes that could mean it's the word family, and sometimes it could just mean like specific uses of this word. And so as I read this entry here, blah, 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 I start to get to, okay, the term identity crisis, first recorded in 1954. So I'll put that one in there. Identity crisis. Identity theft, attested from 1995. And I also see identity politics. Okay. And then there's a nice quote here. Identity politics is a phrase with notably wide currency in gay and lesbian communities. In common usage, the term identity politics refers to the tendency to base one's politics on a sense of personal identity, as gay, as Jewish, as black, as female. So these quotes are really nice because they'll help you kind of better understand particularly some of these specific phrases or uses of the word that we're learning. And if I keep scrolling down now, I will find other, like, what it is a list of other possible dictionary entries. And some of these could be useful because they could help me find more like related words. So I see identify, which is a verb, and it looks like it comes from, see identity, from identité. So it looks like it's related. And I'm going to note that that's a verb, identify. You'll notice I'm starting to get into the word family now. Let's see. Okay, some other words that are like related to identity but don't really have the word identity in them, so I won't use them here. Identification, which is another noun. And I can just tell because the word is very similar. It starts with ident. And I see identify coming in here, which was already on our list. Identical. Okay, see idem. Okay, so identical, which is an adjective, meaning two things are the same. And so that's a pretty good list that we have right there. So now what I have, if I look back, is I have my word, I have the original meaning, which was the same, and it came from Latin. When I compare that original meaning of the same to the current meaning we're using it now, like who someone is and the qualities and beliefs and etc. that make a particular person or group different from others, I can see that you can kind of see a connection between the old, the original meaning of this original word in an ancient language to this current meaning that we have now. But then also what I'm finding is a very useful list of different forms of the word and different phrases where the word tends to be used. And so you can see that you're actually gathering a lot of very useful information about your vocab words when you do this etymology practice. So, best of luck and have fun with your linguistic investigations.